Well, look at that. Good morning. If you are a subscriber of the channel, you know that I've taken over a month off of running, which means I haven't been bringing you my shoe reviews, but I am back and grateful to be bringing you another shoe review with many more to come. So if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Also consider joining the channel membership. Starts at only $1 a month, and it just goes to support me and the channel, my efforts to inform and inspire you. All right, on with the shoe review today. I am talking about the Salomon S-Lab Ultra Glide 2, a shoe made to glide, built for ultras, and it's a shoe that I've really enjoyed. I've put in about 50 miles in the shoe at this point, and I'll be talking about a few things on this video, specifically the overall build quality and comfort of the shoe, the performance and the value. We'll maybe compare it to a couple other shoes as well. Alrighty, on with this review, on with the video. Voiceover Chad, why don't you tell us about some of the specs and features of the Salomon S-Lab Ultra Glide 2?
Salomon states, "The first mile to the last, enjoy comfort, enhanced stability, and responsive cushioning that adapts to your needs while going the distance with the S-Lab Ultra Glide 2. As for some of those specs and features, you get a matrix upper, Salomon's quick lace system with a lace garage to tuck the laces away at the top of the tongue, a fully gusseted tongue, a dual layer Energy Foam Plus, which is a top layered PIBA midsole with an Energy Foam lower carrier EVA midsole with Relieve Sphere wavy technology. Salomon's Contagrip rubber outsole with 4mm lugs, 41mm of heel stack and 35mm of toe stack for that 6mm drop, coming in at 295 grams or 10.4 ounces in a men's US size 9 and a US MSRP of $250. Salomon did send me these shoes for the purpose of review, but know that all thoughts and opinions are otherwise strictly my own, and I'll be strictly honest in my experience as well. Chad, back over to you on the trails.
One of my favorite sections of this trail. It's just so much fun to run in, get some awesome views running on this ridge line. It's just really, really cool, really special. I'm always grateful for it. All right, while I descend down this part of the trail, let's talk about the overall build quality of the S-Lab Ultra Glide 2. Salomon has always built really good, high quality trail shoes, and the S-Lab Ultra Glide 2 makes no exception to that. In fact, because it's the S-Lab, they bring in the best of the best materials, the best technology, and the latest that Salomon has to offer to make a shoe absolutely amazing and great. The S-Lab Ultra Glide 2 brings you a matrix upper that's Kevlar reinforced, super strong, very lightweight, very breathable upper. And then you get a little bit of that knit upper around the collar or ankle, and that helps to keep the debris out. I found it to be very effective at keeping the rocks and the dirt out. I did find it a little interesting, and I'll show you. As you can see, it wraps around the ankle quite snugly and nice. It's not uncomfortable by any means, and it definitely does, as mentioned, keep the rocks and dirt and debris out. But the way that it wraps up around the heel, as you can see here, it's not a traditional heel collar. I do think that this may rub into some people's Achilles. I've heard or I've read a couple people saying that it does rub into their Achilles. I've never experienced that. It doesn't seem to be a problem for me. It is interesting that in version 1, the design was very similar. And then in version 1.5, they made this more of a traditional heel lock, got rid of the way that this comes up against the Keeleys there. And then in version 2 here, they brought it back, which is interesting. Now the design does seem to be ever so slightly different than in version 1. So most people probably won't have an issue with it rubbing into your Achilles. Again, I am not having that issue. Thankfully, it was one of the things that I actually was really kind of concerned or worried about the shoe, but it hasn't been an issue. There's not even a little bit of redness back there. So moving on to the tongue of the shoe, it is built into the collar and gusseted, fully gusseted, and nicely, densely, but not too thick, but densely padded where those quick lace systems come across the top of your foot. So some good padding. I don't feel the laces across the top of my foot, which is really nice. Again, adding to the comfort. I actually really like the padding in the tongue, and then you do get a little bit of padding around the ankle as well. Again, just holding everything nice and secure. Foot's not moving around or slipping around anywhere. Just a good, snug, comfortable hold around the foot. I like their quick lace system. It's easy to undo, easy to tighten, easy to adjust. Yeah, it's very durable. Just a good system all in all. Even though those laces are thinner, you'd think they dig into the foot, but they really don't. And it's because Salomon, again, added some of that padding in the tongue. Around the toe box and in other areas of the shoe, you get some overlays. The toe box is nice and stout, so if you're gonna stub your toe will still be protected. And again, those overlays just add some durability, abrasion resistance, and support around your foot on the shoe, on the upper of that shoe. Moving down into the shoe, that midsole, it's a dual layer. It's really nice. You get that PIBA based layer right underneath your foot. Very lightweight, super critical. It's bouncy. Just makes the shoe really come alive. More on that performance here in a moment. And then you have a carrier EVA based foam, and that just helps to hold your foot, cradles it, kind of like a bucket seat, and your foot sits down inside of that foam. You can also see that it comes up on the side right here on both sides, so it just helps to hold the foot really nicely in place. Comes up, I mean, the bottom of my ankle is probably halfway through the height of that foam there, and it just does a great job at holding the foot in place, offering some stability in an otherwise very high stack shoe. 41 millimeters of heel stack, I believe, with that 6 millimeter drop. Midsole, soft, bouncy, cushioned, feels really good. Then moving on to that outsole rubber, you get their Contagrip rubber. Contagrip is great. At least as good as the best rubbers out there. Never have a concern or problem with traction or durability. So really pleased with the quality and the build quality of that rubber. And then those relief spheres, they are designed to allow your foot places where there's pressure points, those pressure points for your foot to kind of sink down into. So those relief spheres are made to help you go the distance. So this shoe is built for ultras, and part of that is because of those relief spheres, that design in the midsole and that outsole. And then the outsole lugs, I believe they're 4 millimeter if I'm not mistaken. Again, lug depth. Oh, how's it going? Come on through. Yeah, have a good one. Thanks. Didn't know he was waiting behind me. The lug depth is good, no problems or qualms there. Appreciate the build. And that is really it as far as the overall build quality and the comfort. The shoe is built really well. You get the best of the best with the S-Lab technology, and it's very comfortable. I've actually been really pleased with the comfort of the shoe. This is a shoe that I would run all day in and wouldn't think twice about it. It would be very comfortable. So build quality gets a thumbs up. Comfort definitely gets a thumbs up, maybe 2 thumbs up, if that was even a thing in my channel here. Okay, let's continue on with this run. Maybe I can catch up to that biker and I'll talk about the performance of the Salomon S-Lab Ultra Glide 2. See, no qualms about grip. Oh, all right, catch my breath. Let's talk about performance. I believe that the Salomon S-Lab Ultra Glide 2 is one of the few high stack shoes that you can truly race in. I'm not saying you can't race in other shoes, but when I'm talking racing, I'm talking like truly run fast in. This is the type of shoe that you can run fast in. It rewards running fast in. You can really get that leg turnover when you need it. And part of that is because the shoe feels overall lightweight. Now, it's really not much lighter weight. Despite having the Matrix upper, it's not much lighter weight compared to version 1 or 1.5. You're talking single digit gram differences, so not significant. But it does feel lighter weight than what the specs suggest otherwise. The other reason, it's that midsole. It just is bouncy and lively. It doesn't feel like you have a lot of weight underfoot. It just keeps rewarding every foot strike. It's a lot of fun to run in, but it's also, as I mentioned, comfortable. I can run all day in this shoe. My foot stays comfortable. But again, that performance, I can go quick. I can truly race in this shoe. I also like the way that the shoe holds my foot. It's a little snug in the midfoot. There's enough width in the toe box and certainly enough length. No problem there. My toes are not hitting the end of the shoe. Whether I'm running in a technical section like that back there, running downhill, toes just do not touch the end of the shoe. I don't think, and don't recommend sizing down. I think you just go true to size. That would be my recommendation. I also like how breathable, especially in the toe box. Although I haven't gotten the shoe wet, I have no hesitation that that would be a concern. So go ahead, do those river crossings. The water should drain out of this upper quite well. Hey, how's it going? So I just ran into a couple buddies of mine. It was fun to chat with them for a moment and catch up a little bit. Anyways, where was I on the shoe review? I think I had talked about the midsole and the upper. Last thing I guess would be the outsole, that rubber grip. I already mentioned it really earlier in the video, but it does a great job, performs very well, confidence inspiring, grips when you definitely need it, and yeah, it just does a great job. So no worries there. And the relief spheres, I don't necessarily feel them underfoot, which is probably intended and a good thing. So performance of those relief spheres probably is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, which is helping the foot remain comfortable, helping you to perform at your best for hours on end. Wrapping up the performance, definitely gets a thumbs up from me. This shoe performs really well, feels fast. You can go fast in the shoe, but as an ultra shoe, a high stack shoe, gives you that all day comfort and performance that you want. So I'm gonna make my way up the top of that ridge over there, and then I'll talk about the value of the Salomon S-Lab Ultra Glide 2, and I'll compare it to a couple other shoes that are in the same ballpark as far as being a high stack shoe, a higher performing shoe, and in the same ballpark of pricing. All right, let's get to the top of that ridge. All right, talk about value. While I catch my breath, the S-Lab Ultra 2 US MSRP is $250. And that's not cheap. A couple of the shoes that compete in stack performance and price would be the perhaps the North Face Ultra 3, which I have not ran in. The couple of the, don't remember the model numbers, but the Speedland shoes, great shoes, like also expensive but high performing. And a shoe I have ran in, the Hoka Tecton X3, and you've got the X4 coming out next month in August, later this summer. The Hoka Tecton X3 and X4 coming in at $275. So the S-Lab Ultra Glide 2 competes in the same price range, but $250 is still expensive. There are other high stacked shoes that you can do ultra running in that will be significantly cheaper. For example, some of the Topo Athletic shoes, but the S-Lab Ultra Glide 2 is one of the few shoes, in my opinion, that you can do real ultra racing in. I'm talking faster ultras, and it doesn't even have to be ultras. It can be some of the shorter runs as well, but this shoe will perform in a way that you can go fast in when you need or want. The Hoka Tecton X3, also a higher stack shoe and lightweight and fast underfoot. That one has a carbon plate. The S-Lab Ultra Glide 2 does not have a carbon plate, so it kind of depends on what you want, what you feel works well for you. That said, you're getting the best that Salomon has to offer in the S-Lab Ultra Glide 2. Best build quality, best materials, best technology, the latest innovation from Salomon, all wrapped up into a nice competitive package. And while $250 is a lot of money to spend, I think if you're looking for a phenomenal shoe, I think the S-Lab Ultra Glide 2 is definitely one to consider. That said, I've really liked the Hoka Tecton X3, and I'm looking forward to the X4 review coming to the channel soon. I will be receiving that shoe for review soon as well. Also, $100 cheaper, the Salomon Genesis 2 just came out. That's $150 in a shoe that I really like. Also has a matrix upper. You don't get the dual density midsole foam, but it's a shoe that, at least version 1, I really liked. I'm looking forward to putting the miles and bringing you my review in the Genesis 2. So, might be a good daily trainer to consider. And then when you're prepping for that ultra race, maybe pick up a pair and race in the S-Lab Ultra Glide 2. All right, so value, I can't say I would give it a thumbs up, but I do think it's worth considering if you want some of the best that Salomon has to offer. Okay, that is it for this review. I am going to continue on enjoying these beautiful views, the wonderful trails, and I bet my friend Craig is catching up to me in a minute because he's fast. A lot more shoe and gear reviews coming to the channel. I've got a whole lineup of shoes to bring you reviews for. So please subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Appreciate your support. Appreciate those that have become channel members recently. It's really going to help support me and the channel here. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Alrighty, ending this video off as I always do. Remember to be consistent, express gratitude, and enjoy every mile as I am today. It's a beautiful morning. I'll see you on the next video. Bye now.